evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome once again to another Thursday night edition of Fuck Your Feelings, the show. I don't know, we're going to have to figure something out about that. I hear that if your swear words are in the first few minutes.
So we're going to have to say F your feelings, the show.
Welcome to FYF, the show. We'll talk about more.
So we want to get monetized by YouTube,
eventually.
and YouTube apparently will not monetize you if you're saying cuss words in the first, 30 seconds I sent you? Whatever it is.
We'll figure that out, just modifying some habits.
Hello everyone who's joining.
A little bit of a stupid rule, but it is what it is. So just trying to get used to that. So anyways, I've already addressed it. Thursday night edition of Fuck Your Feelings, the show. Welcome everyone. We are here every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can do the modifications for your local time zone because we're in Arizona and our time zone never changes. So, welcome. We're going to allow a few minutes for those that are joining in via Instagram as well as YouTube. We are streaming to both platforms simultaneously, and this weekend should be fun. Where the name of the show is
Are You the Piss in the Dating Pool?
Yeah. We were talking, what are we going to cover this week? I was like, let's do Tinder profiles again because it was a fun show. It was pretty light, keeps things moving a little bit, and I've been grinding at work, so I've been tired as hell this week, y'all. So I did not need anything heavy for tonight's topic, and I think making fun of people's Tinder profiles is going to be just the amusement.
Here's the thing: we're not making fun of people's Tinder profiles. We are. Here's the thing about it: Rob and I, being male and female, as much as we see things very similarly, we have different perspectives, and that's what the last one really showed me. Because I was seeing sometimes the dating profile in one way, you're like, oh hell no. As a man, this is not how we're seeing it. And I don't want to be back into the dating pool. Funny enough, we're going to start giving you more behind the scenes of what goes on with us. Because what you guys don't know, like we always said, we're not couple goals. Almost every show, we have a little bit of an argument before the cameras turn on. Which is hilarious as hell, because once we turn on, we're on. But we do have a little tit. I think people think we come on here and no. We do this and we smile and it's awesome, but we be at it sometimes.
Well, I wouldn't say
no, we're not at it, but we do have our.
Sometimes the little things, sometimes the petty stuff, becomes annoying.
I'm annoying, is what he's trying to say.
She is. I'm sorry.
First of all, I'm not actually annoying.
That's why. And I'm sure most men can relate in relationships. It was like, again, a famous Bill Burr. I think it was Bill Burr. I don't know who it was, but he was saying he was at his 25th wedding anniversary. At his 25th anniversary dinner with his wife, and they were talking. And he said he had the revelation that, wow, for 25 years in his marriage, we've been working on me. When are we going to work on you? And I think that's how most guys kind of feel in the relationship. We know all of my shortcomings, we definitely, but Toshiba has a very hard time accepting.
I have shortcomings.
The criticism sometimes. And again, part of what we were getting into is, again, there was a small situation, not a big deal at all. It'd get worked out. So she was quote unquote apologizing, and her apology was, I'm sorry, but you didn't tell me that. So again, that kind of bothered me because I'm like, what do I got to do with it?
Give it that I modify the apology.
I apologize.
I did the second time.
You did the second time. But it would be nice if you would do that the first time, and then my annoyance would shoot up a couple notches, because it's like, we both are.
I apologize.
It's moved way beyond that. I'm just saying, it's just.
I'll do better. I'll do better.
There you go.
I'll do better. Apologizing in a way that doesn't point out what I think is your fault in the
sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of fellas can relate, we do not enjoy being asked 50, 11 times, are you okay?
And I think it is important to check on his mental well-being.
And even if I'm not okay, if I say okay, it means it has nothing to do with you. It's nothing you can fix. It's nothing you can address. It could be just me. Could be I'm sleepy. Could be I'm tired. Could be I'm frustrated. Could be whatever. It has absolutely no bearing to you. But then when you're just trying to go through your day and you turn and your wife is like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" All in your face, like
as a black man.
I appreciate it, but when I say
as
I'm
a black
good,
man in corporate,
I need you to take my word that I'm good.
But babe, as a black man in corporate, do you not think it's important that I check on you?
No, I appreciate it, but I think that my mental problems exacerbate when you keep checking on it. Like, just one check is fine. Doesn't need to be multiples. And ladies, you cannot fix your man's problems. He fixes yours. That's just how it goes.
So what would you recommend I do? Just ignore the when I see that your mood has changed?
No, I suggest you do.
I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to protect the black man.
What you've been. There we go. You hear her? She gonna protect me. Okay.
All of a 6'9" splendor.
Yeah, she's gonna protect me. Because that's what I need in my life more is protection. Anyhow, no, just accept when. Just sometimes you just have to be like, okay, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's not, maybe I'm reading into it. Sometimes, ladies, maybe I'm reading into it too much. Again, if you sit there and stare at a man, every reaction, someone says a joke, oh, you didn't find that funny? Like, come on, that's too much. Like,
I do not do that.
No, you're not that far.
Thank you.
No, I'm not saying that, but that's how it comes across. It's like we want to have the same freedom to go through our moods, attitudes, emotions, whatever they may be, as y'all do. And y'all have plenty of freedom. You know what I'm saying? When I see she's feeling a certain kind of way, I give her a wide berth. Now, are you okay? Are you okay? Did you just slam that door? What's wrong?
We're going to move on. Yeah. That was too much insight into our life.
Well, you said you want behind the scenes information, so we're just going to talk about sometimes, y'all do too much. That's all it is. Ladies, sometimes y'all just do too much. That's the problem. You're doing too much.
I can admit I do too much. That is, I am the definition of probably do too much. And I don't think it's in a negative way. I try not to be negative.
It usually isn't.
Oh, okay.
It usually isn't. But when it is and you keep going about it, then it's like, yo, why you just can't take my word for it? Like, I'm not in a particular mood.
Okay.
But then it's, like I said, and we have different days.
And that's okay. And I think that's as women, we're not as accustomed to our men going through cycles of emotion. I'm putting the quotation around it. Because again, we do. We have our monthly cycle. We've got things going on, whatever the case might be. And so I guess we have the expectation that you're going to kind of ride this wave. So if you guys are on a wave, we want to know. Because I want to fix it. Again, I want to protect my black man.
That is part of the problem. You don't have to fix it.
Okay, babe. Well, I will do better. Okay.
Just be there. Be pleasant. Be supportive. Be feminine. Just be a woman. Usually that's enough. But when you become Dr. Phil, he's just kind of like, please stop. I don't want to be analyzed. That's all.
Thank you. I will do better.
So will I. So will I. So will I.
Okay. So we're going to get to the topic.
I mean, and when I'm more frustrated, more tired, more whatever, then I mean her. And I try not to take it out on her, but when, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? It's hard sometimes.
You know what? I think there's a lot of men who wish they had your
No.
Yes, they do.
No.
You're not telling me that men don't want to be checked on all the time?
What you just said, all the time. No. If you said men want to be checked on, yes. All the time, no. Not at all.
Okay, well, I don't check on you all the time. I check on you.
Close enough.
Robert.
Close enough. You do.
I'm going to get to this.
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Gentlemen, do you want to lay anybody that checks on you most of the time, please let me know in the DMs. I feel.
And you checked on me already.
I did.
You asked me the first time.
Yes.
Everything good? Yep. Cool. Yep. I'm going to take a nap because I'm exhausted. I know we have this show coming up. You want me yawning, eyes looking bloodshot and crazy on the show? No. So I came home and took a nap.
Okay. I will leave it at that. Moving on.
Moving on.
So we wanted to go through a dating profiles, and we will not give you the names of the people. We will give you the age and the sex. I've tried to do an equal amount of men and women, but I think there's a little bit more men in this. And again, race is whatever. We live in Arizona. This was on Tinder, so
that'd be cool. A bit more men, because again, from your end, you would see more male profiles. I would assume from my end, I would see more.
Well, I kind of I put it on everyone, and so that I could get. And then I just when I was realizing I was getting more men, I then put it just on women, so I could just go through women. So I tried to be as whatever. So there's going to be a mixture of some.
And I never see men's profiles, so I think that's really going to be hilarious to me.
Well, yeah.
Occasionally they'll pop up like
how they made themselves women.
I don't know. People do all kind of stuff to make themselves more available on these dating apps. I don't get it. And at this point, it is purely information. Because I can guarantee you, if something were to happen, I would not ever be back on them joints. Because it's like.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
It's crazy.
That's the interesting part about this, because if you don't know our origin story, we met on Tinder. We met on Tinder. We were in different countries at the time. If you do not know this, I am not an American. I was born in Jamaica, and I grew up in Toronto, Canada. Rob was born in Rochester. That's where he grew up. And he was in Rochester at the time. It was COVID, family stuff, and I was in Toronto. And we met, interestingly enough, I don't even know how my Tinder got that far, but the universe clearly had plans, because here we are. And that's how we met. But we both know that if we were back on these streets, it's a no. It's a no. And here's the funny thing. I find like Tinder profiles are just a written version of what we see on Kendra G's show. Because some of the audacity in some of these profiles is the audacity in some of these, Kendra's guests that are just so outrageous, that are so outlandish. And I'm like, do you realize how you come across? But again, I didn't even recognize it as much until our last show, because again, when you're looking at something written, you try to, maybe they meant this, maybe they meant that. When you see it on like Kendra G or Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Uncle Kevin, you're seeing the actual representation of that person. But in here, it's leaving room for interpretation. So I like this show because we interpret it fairly differently.
Yeah, then I'm sure the writer intended to be. Or sometimes I think y'all just like putting yourself out there sounded crazy.
But I've been thinking that if I had to put my dating profile again, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't even bother. I would, because I don't know how I would come across. Because I would be thinking I'm coming across as soft and sophisticated and sweet, and other people out there just like, oh no.
This might sound jacked up, but I think for women, y'all probably better off not having a caption. Just put nice pictures up and let dude figure it out from there.
You know what's funny though? You know what's funny? Because you're such a sapiosexual, you actually fell for me more after reading my profile. Because I still have our Tinder messages, even though they're like 2.5 years old, right? I'm writing a book called Fuck Your Feelings, The Journey to Imperfect Love, and it's actually going to include some of our original messages to each other. So I've kept the profile so that I could put it in the book. And I remember there was a point of the thing where you were like, you know what, I finally went back and read your profile. And I was like, oh, you did? And you were like, I'm impressed. You were like, I would have been fine if you were just a pretty face, but the fact now that you've written, and I don't even remember what was in my profile at the time, but it was fascinating for me to hear that drew you into me more than just my pretty pictures, right?
Well, yeah, that's nice, and it was, I couldn't even tell you off the top of the head what I remember about that at this point, but yeah, sometimes it'll shed some light, sometimes it'll just, like again, when you say, I like it hot on cold days, and I wanna, like when there's a lot of contradiction in the paragraph,
like
it just sets you up, like,
days.
you're like, yeah, this is, but again, guys are so crazy, especially these days. That we just like I've actually been out in public and seen dudes know they're on a dating app because they're just like,
oh,
I guess they pay so they get unlimited swipes and they just.
We're never like
law of averages.
We will never. So if anybody's out there rooting for the demise of our relationship and thinking we're neither one of us is going to be back on the dating app. No, we're good.
You're better off working on what you're in. That's I think most.
Get outside.
And I remember an old person made a saying once. He was like, if everybody could take their problems and put them into a pile in the middle of the room, I guarantee you, when it came time to go pick a problem, you'd wind up wanting your own back.
Facts.
You start looking at other people's problems.
Like, hell
no.
I don't want
just give me my problems back. At least I know what the devil you know is always going to be better than the devil you don't.
Facts. So yeah, we work very hard to stay together. I already told him, listen, you try to we're not getting a divorce. Like it's not happening. I'm not going to be a twice divorcee. This is going to be both of our second marriage. He can have his little girlfriend. You can try to put her in the next room, but I'm moving him right in the room beside you. Oh hell no! I'm gonna wrap this thing up so tight, there's no division of assets. I'm not going nowhere. Where do you think I'm gonna be going with my 50 or 60-year-old self? No, we good. So
and for me, sometimes I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I just think I'm too mean for women. I'll be having to roll it back sometimes because I seriously be wanting.
He is, you know what? He likes to say that he is the sweetest.
When it's at least when it's due, but sometimes I think some people don't even deserve that. Like when you just delusion frustrates me. Arrogance and conceit when it's not even based on nothing upsets me. And
I try not to let him watch Kendra G with me anymore because he's had enough.
I really had to kind of fall back from a lot of the social media stuff because it really does. I felt it was starting to really make me hate people more than I already do.
And I watch a lot of social media for the show, for content, for big ideas. And so one of us has to consume it. And even I got to the point the other day where I was like, I need to just dial back and figure because it is a lot.
I balance my stuff with sci-fi and stuff too. I watch them bed.
And I watch my crime shows. I'm a crime show person.
That's another one it's not that bad, but a lot of the same stuff is going on those crime shows, especially
if that's going on
when they're because again, it's always the man's fault that she murdered somebody, but it's his fault. Okay.
So moving on. So I purposely only chose dating profiles of people that were 40 and over because they were more. And I was going to do 35 and over, and then I said, forget it, I'm going to do 40 and over because it's more in our age group, and they should know better.
They should know better, and
they don't.
Yeah, the desperation should be tapering some of that arrogance. You would think.
So we're going to start. So the first person is a female who is 41. About me. Goofy, funny, overthinker. Love road trips, music, lazy days, and making my house a home. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'm 42 and never properly dated. Now is the time. Not here to just get down and dirty. Although that death has to be in the cards eventually if we vibe. Looking to date and get to know people and discover what's out there. Eventually, I want that partner in crime, but I'm in no rush and am looking forward to experiencing the journey there. Here's the thing. Her grammar annoys me.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be an assistant at a law firm, and I hate everything about I'm the grammar police, right? He'll tell you, when I write texts, I write in full sentences, right? And if I make a mistake, today I said something that was supposed to be will, and I'll correct it because I want to make sure he understands very clearly. I don't do IRL in real life. I just don't do that. So she's a legal assistant at a law practice, and this is how she writes. But anyways, babe, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
The first thing that jumped out is just why are you 40 and only starting to date properly? What does that even mean? One. It sounds, and then you say you're an overthinker, so that just kind of sounds like, I ain't gonna lie to me, the squeeze probably isn't worth the juice, meaning that you're going to have to go through way more than you wind up getting out of that situation.
What should she have put? This is what we're going to do differently than we didn't do the last show. Because this was a lot.
And here's the thing. Depending on how attractive she is. That's the kicker. The more attractive you are, the more a man is willing to put up with. Facts. Now, on the flip side of that, you show me a beautiful woman and I'll show you a man who is tired of her.
That is also facts.
That is also facts. So I think less is definitely more. Probably just talk about the things that you like, things that you're into, so he might have some, if he does swipe and he does want to try to meet you and take you out or whatever, so he might have some ideas as far as what your interests are, or you know, your pastimes, your hobbies. But outside of that, I think that the way women tell their story, that's something you got to get firsthand, because if you try to put it on paper, it's just going to sound like, again, 40, never dated properly. I'm sure there's a story there, but it just makes you be like, I don't care. I'm going to find out.
Economy of words. That's something that my editor, who's also our sponsor, Sorlin Sage, taught me when I was writing No Handouts for Black Girls. And it applies to everything. Sometimes less is more. And you're right. If she had left it at loves road trips, music, lazy days, and making my house a home, looking for a road trip partner, can't wait to talk and meet, or something of the sort, and left it there, I think the other stuff was just, it was too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. So, moving on. Also a female. A regulatory consultant. A dreamer and a maverick. Also a coffee lover and amateur reader. Enjoy dancing, cooking, biking, and hiking. Some things in life should be planned and some things spontaneous. P.S. Please don't ask me why I'm on here or what I am looking for! Exclamation mark.
I don't even know that one is another kind of confusing one, because
What's an amateur reader?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. What is, are there professional readers? Like, what is an amateur reader exactly? And the other thing I would say, especially for females, like, and again, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but keep it positive. When you say don't do something on your dating site, I just want to say, nope, I want to do that. No. Because it's like, it's again, are you looking for what you want, or are you looking to avoid what you don't want? Because they're very, very different things. And I think it's like playing to win versus playing not to lose. They're not the same.
Yeah, I agree. And she would have been fine without the PS.
Yeah.
Right? The amateur reader one, I think she was trying to be sarcastic or whatever.
Yeah, cool.
But I think that was too much. Again, a dreamer and a maverick. Love coffee, enjoy dancing, cooking, biking, and hiking. Can't wait to talk to you. Looking forward to a conversation. Right? Like, I am just like, the PS, why was the PS necessary? I guess she's probably, you know what? I guess she's probably been annoyed by people saying, why are you on here? But that's a typical question. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something that's long term? Because a guy can self-eliminate himself, right? Because guys have been self-eliminated. You want something long term, I'm just trying to smash.
But you know what that also makes me think is you don't want to be asked that question because you don't know the answer to it.
Oh, no.
You don't like the question because you can't answer it.
There's that.
Because again, women can tell you many modern women can tell you what they don't want. They cannot tell you what they want.
And it's so true, because it's funny when you watch Kendra G show and she says, why would a person be lucky to be with you? That seems to be the hardest question. The hardest question for women.
Because they don't think about it. Most times. And I think even a lot of guys these days, like, they don't, other than what they can, throw at the situation, what they're willing to kind of, throw at it, whether it's time, money, emotions, whatever. Yeah. Guys kind of have like, okay, this is what I'm willing to invest, and anything up to that point is fair game. But I think it's a tougher question to ask, like, why would a person be lucky to be with you? Because one, you kind of got to know, like, what dealing with you is like, and I think that men tend to have a little bit more of a leg up on that because we naturally tend to deal with criticism a little bit better, you know.
I will agree with that.
I don't think women really take the lessons learned from their last relationship other than what he did messed up. I don't. That's why the question always, you know, that's why Kevin used to ask, you know, what happened in your last relationship without blaming the man?
Yeah.
Because again, I've had that conversation before. I'm like, look, I might give bro 95% of the problem.
But well, you did something.
What was in your 5%? And you still want to just keep telling me nothing. You know, because if nothing is while he was being an asshole, you kept sticking there. That's on you.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. Moving on to the next profile. Also a female, 43, about me. Happy with my life. Don't need a title, your money, or a ring on my finger. Keep it simple. Experiences are greater than possessions. Don't be a shit human. Respect my time. Not going to meet you for drinks immediately. I'm in no rush. Not much of drinker. Would rather smoke my face off and eat all the things. Brain sex, reciprocity, self-awareness, actions matching words, communication and comprehension. She had a whole bunch of emojis beside all of this, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I don't know what all them emojis be meaning. I don't want to sit there and
try. And at 43,
interpret them. Yeah.
No.
You use your words, and again, it's just that profile to me has more of a negative tone.
But she started with happy with life, but nothing about this says that you're happy.
You're pleased with things, you know. And
like, no.
Why in the world would I want to spend time with you when, again, it just seems like you're gonna drain. It seems like she's an energy drain already, like right off the rip.
Yeah, that again, happy with my life, then goes into negative. The next thing after is don't. Do not.
So many
stop. Cease.
I have seen where it's don't, stop, and it's just like, I just, it gives off masculine energy. I'm sorry. That's really what I think, because again, we kind of have that because we're willing to give up to a certain point, and then we have to say beyond that is not acceptable. But yeah, it's like, you know, remember when I said men don't like being told what to do? It's like you telling them what to do on your dating profile.
Pretty much. Right? Because she could have had happy with my life. If you're happy with yours, let's connect and be happy together. That would have been a different sounding profile, right?
That sounds legit. It sounds authentic. But yeah, when you say you're happy and then go on to list all the things you don't like,
yeah,
it doesn't.
Immediately went next sentence.
It doesn't give off happy vibes.
So. This was actually horrible. I wonder if she knows how horrible this is.
Ooh. I don't think she cares.
Well, I mean, with her don'ts, don't be a shit human, and
she
sounds like a shit human.
The pictures and stuff.
Yeah, we. I don't screenshot the pictures. A lot of them are not attractive.
Thank you. Phoenix is, I would say, the average profile in Phoenix probably brings up at like a 5, 4.5 or something like that. Like it's.
I did spend a lot of time.
That's just the pool, and yeah, me, I got sick of it rather quickly because I was just like, geez, this is.
Yeah, he's not to do these exercises. This is why I do these exercises.
Little depressing.
So he's not to do these exercises. Okay. The next is also female, 45, about me. If you, instead of your, it bothers me. It's Y-O-U-R, but it's supposed to be Y-O-U''R-E, but I digress. If you're looking for a hookup, I'm not your girl! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Searching for my soulmate. Heart emoji. Treat me like a queen and I'll treat you like a king. Treat me like a game and I'll show you how it's played. P.S. I'm fun size, 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah, that a little, again, convoluted. You throw in fun size, like, again, to kind of get a guy's attention towards the physical or whatever.
But then you say if you're looking for a hookup.
But if that's all you're looking for, and I think, like, like women, you cannot weed out a man who is just looking for sex. You just can't.
But aren't all men looking for sex?
Thank you. Some guys are willing to go for a few weeks. Some guys will go a few months. Some guys ain't gonna go for a few days. But we're all trying to get there.
Eventually, sex
That's
is
the reason we deal with women. I'll be honest. Like, and it's been said many times, and I know y'all love to think that y'all are so much more than that. But let's be real. Like, if it wasn't for sex, men and women wouldn't even deal with each other, or men wouldn't deal with women.
I always just, you know what was funny, and people hate it when I say this, and they'll probably hate it when I say it now. I've said it before. I always looked on every date I went on as a down payment on sex. That's what a man was doing. The courting process is a down payment to eventually get into my draws. Now, again, like you said, some are willing to put in a little bit more work, and some are like, yeah, she's not giving it after 2 dates, I'm done, like moving on to Sheba. And it is what it is. Deuces, I'm out, right? The more money they had, the bigger the investment. But I all knew it was a down payment to get intimate. And any woman who thinks differently, baby girl, sweetheart, I'm sorry. Like, your mama lied to you, your daddy lied to you. Sex is the name of the game when people are dating. Interpersonal relationships, that's what it's about. And yes, a man wants to get you to know your brain. So if you're in a space where you are like, listen, I want to get to know you, understand that he should be able to also date other people, right? You got to leave that door open. I'm not ready. I really want to get to know you. This is my pace. Are you okay with that? If you're seeing other people, that's fine. But this is the pace that I need to be on for my own journey. And it's up for that man to decide. But to think that he's investing all this time without wanting to get sex, whether it's 6 dates, 6 hours, or 6 months, sex is going to be on the table. So let's just talk about this up front.
And men, I would say that we're willing to do what's required. Like, if you're a woman,
the more you like the woman, though, right?
That, and you can just we smell out 3 or 4 behavior. We smell out woman who's been pursued by decent guys. You know what I mean? Your story. If you listen and ask the right questions and interact with a woman in a certain way, she'll tell you everything you need to know, and vice versa.
That's true.
And vice versa. People tell you who they are. You just have to listen.
We did that. We had a lot of conversations and follow-up questions. That's the one thing I will say you enjoyed about me, at least in the beginning, was all the questions I would delve into. He would tell me something and I would follow up with a question. Okay, can you expand on that? You know, how did that change your view? How did that shape who you are as a person? And so he was allowed to just be open and vulnerable. And I did the same. And
I think, again, don't tell you, I still love talking to you. It's just that I don't like talking to you all the time. Like, not all the time.
I love you too, babe.
I do. But I think that's just the difference. Y'all really like to talk, man. You have enough female. And then again, it's between you and my daughter, sometimes I'll just be like, man, head off for real. And depending on the mood is how willing, and not only willing but able I am to just enjoy it and just sit into it.
I appreciate
and relax with it.
It's really not as bad as you make. Listen, we have the greatest talks in bed, especially on the weekends when we get to sleep in a little bit more. We wake up and we'll sometimes spend an hour in bed just talking. So
like
he
last
is
night,
not as
I'm
harsh
just sitting
as
on the
is.
couch wanting to play the game, and you're wanting to
I
talk,
know something
and
was
I'm
wrong.
like, did I wanted to play the game and not talk? That was what was wrong. Because I just wanted to play my game and kind of distract.
And I should have just enjoyed the moment because we were under the blanket together. I was doing my own thing on the iPad. I was doing some work.
Then she starts going. Then she starts threatening, and then it was just.
I didn't threaten you to do what? What did I threaten you with? I did not threaten you. I did say you won't
did.
I did.
You
I
did.
totally forgot about that.
See,
I totally he wasn't getting his
y'all be forgetting about
his
stuff.
fellatio because
and that wasn't even a problem, but it's like I ain't asked for it, and then now, and I didn't do anything, and now you're gonna take it away. I'm like, well, whatever. Went right in there and went to sleep.
That's my bad. That I apologize for, because I didn't even think about how like terrible that was. I apologize.
And I don't know. I think you were kind of joking and kind of kidding, and then partially, but then when I didn't like crack a smile, and then I just kind of looked at her like, I think I said something like, "Do what you got to do."
And I knew I
know y'all hate that shit. Like,
it does.
When you try to prod him for a reaction, and he's just like, "Man."
It does.
It bothers y'all, but we know.
But then I know I messed up.
But on the flip side of that,
I messed up.
When we're just trying to chill and you're trying to get a reaction out of us, how do you think that feels?
Not good.
Thank you.
But I knew I'd messed up. When you do that, I'm like, oh girl, you messed up.
Do what you gotta do.
He might not be hugging you too close tonight. Okay, so.
I ain't thinking about you tonight. Thinking about some good sleep. That's what I'm doing.
So, next profile, female 42. She's a director. Says she's bisexual. About me. Just trying to this out to see. Jesus Christ. Just trying to this out. She's supposed to be saying just trying this out.
Like, review your words, too.
Jesus, Father God. Anyways, I'm going to read exactly how it is. Just trying to this out to see where it leads me. She's the director of what? Already. Fire her.
Just like what's that show? Like on Fresh and Fit, every girl is an entrepreneur.
Right, which means OnlyFans. Yeah. But moving on. Looking for a woman to explore my bike tendencies with and enjoy some fun and drinks. 420 friendly. Moved to Arizona during COVID, so trying to get out more and explore. Love a good dive bar, and I'm a foodie who enjoys eating good food. I have my shit together and not here for games or drama. As a bisexual woman myself, that did not appeal to me.
It's though you can't weed.
I just
your process weeds out people that waste your time. You can't just do it with words. I would not. No, it's giving very male energy already right away. Like clearly this is Arizona. It's very likely not a black woman. And again, I'm just gonna guess also by the name. But you're talking about a dive bar and then foodie and eating. No, but you say you have your shit together, but then your first sentence is the grammar is wrong. Like there's nothing about this that says I want to spend 2 hours getting to know you over this food at this dive bar. And male or female,
I don't want to do this.
If you say I have my shit together, you probably don't.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like saying to someone you have your shit together is an interesting thing. Because you're just supposed to display that you have your shit together, right? Like
let that person figure it out. Like confidence is sexy, man. Like you just walk it. Just walk it like you talk it. You don't have to tell people. Like, because again, that's something that I view across the board about people is like, I love it when people will say like, you know, in a certain situation, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that or I'm gonna third, like the tough acting people and stuff like that always. It's so funny because usually a situation will come up similar to what they was talking about, and right then and there you get to see are they really the person to respond in the manner that they say they would, because you know. Yeah. Oh, it better not be rude to me. And then someone's rude to them and they just meek as a sheep. Like,
Yeah. I just think it's there's nothing about this, because again, she's looking for a woman, and nothing about this as a woman who is attracted to women would I would not.
Here's the thing, men really don't like confrontation. And we don't mind it with other men because it can get handled with another man. It's not going to linger on. It's not going to drag on. It's not going to. But with females, like, man, we really don't like confrontation because we can't ever win.
That is true, babe. Moving on. Also a woman. 40. Only I'm Phoenix. That is what it says. She's supposed to say I'm only. So only I'm Phoenix for a little while due to a family issue. Looking for some fun to occupy my time while I'm here. I love champagne and dislike Pearl Jam, and I'm trying to find photos of myself not looking like a complete idiot. I realize that I'm wearing sunglasses in 99% of my photos that fit that category. Take that as you will. Third level profile.
Yeah, just toss it. Like, what are you trying to self-depreciate? Like, one, it's hard to find a picture of you that you don't look like an idiot. Like, yo, you said that. I had nothing to do with that. So if you feel that way about your pictures, imagine how dude feels once he's read that and starts looking at them. And again, I kind of keep coming back to, that's why I say the less is more. But nowadays it is, and again, there's a ton of masculine energy coming from females on dating sites, even
but your dating
sites.
profile is not a thesis. It is not a thesis.
Mm-mm.
It is not a thesis. You're supposed to put basic information and some pretty pictures and keep it pushing. It is not a thesis. It is not something about everything that's wrong with the world and society and everything about you. This is where the conversations are. That's where the texting is. That's where the conversation is. And again, I've never understood coming in with negativity. And again, my editor who's now on, economy of words.
Mm-hmm.
Like she could have said, no, she couldn't have said anything.
More, definitely on the female side of things. I think guys have to sell themselves a little bit more because that's natural. That's what we're kind of used to.
Yeah, but women, we don't. Put up some pretty pictures and a few words.
Pictures and let him make a choice. Let him see if it's what he likes. But when you start trying to sell yourself, it starts to sound like you're selling yourself. And if it was a good,
a good car sells itself.
Bentley's,
when you go on a lot, a Maserati sells itself. A Maybach sells itself. Think the Rolls Royces.
Quality things sell themselves. They don't need a good sales pitch to get you to buy it.
You heard it here from us first. Okay, next dating profile. Now this is a male who's 41. He's a regional facility manager. Already. About me. 2-year-old golden retriever puppy. Say hi. Smiley face. Now that I have your attention, I'm a 40-year-old dude from New York who's just looking for something fun and positive that hopefully leads to something long-term. I have a super stable job. I own my own home and I'm over the BS. I'm an old school kind of guy. I open doors and believe in chivalry. I look forward to getting to know you better. There's a lot of smiley faces here. Here's the thing. The super really bothered me. I know it's a little thing, but it's like, super. I'm super. Like, no.
It kind of gives off, like, who hurt you vibes to me a little
super.
bit. Like, because, I don't know, like, when you start to sound like the ladies, like, I'm over the BS. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you're over the BS? Like, I can relate. I'm over the BS, but there's nothing I feel like I need to put in my dating profile. Because especially with a person that I don't have any type of connection with, like I am definitely the guy that will get up and walk out on a bad date.
I could see this.
Like I ain't even gonna play with it. Like
he doesn't even really go on dates.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would just be like, yo, this ain't hitting on nothing. Good luck in your ventures.
We're out here soon to pay, enjoy the rest of the meal.
Leave the bill or whatever it is. Because, like, it's... That's the whole point in dating is you don't owe nobody nothing. Like, I don't get it, you know what I mean? Like...
Well, that's where people have gotten confused, right? Like, people go from knowing each other to feeling like they're in a relationship. Now, I sound like a hypocrite saying that because we went from strangers in a relationship in 10 days, but we did the work, so whatever. We'll read it in my book. But I think that's the thing, right? I think people don't feel as if you need to impress me. Like, I'm here, and that's enough. I showed up. But just like you go to the interview, the job interview, and you have to impress every single person along the way, every single date is an interview. And yes, we don't like saying it that because people want to think it's fun and all things. Like ladies, even like men will judge us. How many drinks? You should have a drink rule when you go on date. You know what? I'm only going to have 2 drinks. Because after 2 drinks, you know what? I might get a little wild and I really want to make a good impression. Right? Like he knows I am not a big drinker. So even when we're going out, I may have 1 drink, just period. And that's just me. I've never been a big drinker. I didn't even have my first alcoholic beverage until I was 26. So I've only been drinking for the last 17 years and I'm 43. So it's one of those things, I think, as women, we're supposed to understand. Because men, I think there's a lot of guys that I went out with that always understood they needed to make a good impression to get the second date. So as women, it's the same thing. First of all, you need to make a good impression to get the swipe. Then you open up the conversation. The conversation leads to getting asked out, and then getting asked out again, and getting asked out again, and then hopefully into a relationship. Because nobody does this. Ladies and gentlemen, stop lying that you're just doing this to have fun. To get on Tinder and swipe,
you're trying to meet somebody.
You're trying to meet somebody.
Stop it. And that's
Stop
again,
it.
That's my biggest problem with the entire modern dating scene is everybody wants to act like they're apathetic, like they don't care, like I'm here but I don't really want to be here. Like no, everybody wants somebody. It's just most people don't know how to be with nobody, and that's where all of the confusion is coming from.
I agree, babe. Because his profile.
Nobody want to be alone. No, y'all need to stop that, man. Like
stop
people
it.
that want to be alone are alone and not on dating sites looking for people.
Moving on. This is a woman, 45, about me, looking for LTR, which means long-term relationship, divorce, mother, spiritual, funny, creative, and a big hockey fan. Hard pass on MAGA. What does MAGA mean again? That's just the
Make
Trump
America
people.
great.
Oh, okay, yes, make America great again, people. Smoking and liars. I would prefer someone relatively close in area. I live in the West Valley. I'm 420 friendly. But if you are not, that's okay. I'm not interested in someone who is separated.
Yeah, it seems more, again, one of those profiles where you're trying to weed out based on your previous bad experiences instead of just letting who might be interested in you be interested in
and
you.
then weed them out from there.
And then go from there. Like, but you can't just. But that's also, it seems like you it's a process. There's no look again. I care about her more than I did a year ago, and I care about her a year ago more than I did when we first met. That is the natural process. You can't rush that. You can't circumvent it. You can't skip by certain parts of it. It's a process. And guess what? If you don't want to risk anything, man, go sit your ass at home.
Don't do it.
Go sit at home. Because putting yourself out there is risky.
Facts. It's funny, I was talking to Joanne the other day on Tuesday, and that was one thing I was saying. As I was talking about writing the book, and I've written the book, and then I'm rewriting the book because the place we were in a year ago isn't the place we're in now. And so having had 2 years under our belt and, almost 2 years cohabitating and all these different things, it's a different journey. It's a different place. We're in a different space. But it is a journey.
Yeah, and the effort's different. You know what I'm saying? Some things are easier, some things are harder. Again, I really believe familiar in relationships. One of the hardest things to combat is the fact that familiarity breeds contempt. The more intimately and deeper person you know, the more flaws you can find with them if you allow yourself to start looking at what they aren't more than what they are. Mm-hmm. And I do think, again, women tend to have more of an issue with that because y'all have that feminine desire to seek out perfection when men know good and well perfection does not exist in the natural world. Like, we definitely are willing to take you flaws and all, but I know that a lot of men have felt that sting of like, oh wow, so you just get to be whoever, but I gotta be buttoned up and on point all the time.
I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty.
Sometimes, but
I don't think I'm bad.
No, you're not bad.
I tend to try to flow.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and this is my personal philosophy on it. And I would say in relationships, every relationship has, and I'm going to use this one for example, we have Rob and Toshiba problems. Those are problems that are unique to myself and herself in our interpersonal dynamic. But then there's another layer of problems that every relationship has that are just simply man and woman problems. And that's where it comes that's where the help comes with having other people in relationships and in commitments and things like that. Because you can start to separate. the man versus women problems, like they're in every relationship. There's no avoiding them. Okay. But I think sometimes people will throw away okay relationships thinking it's a Rob and Toshiba problem when it's simply just a man and woman problem. I can understand because I know there's certain things that no woman I've ever dealt with has been a fan of. You know what I'm saying? And then there's certain things that I know that
I'm not a fan of. Just me.
And not even me. And then I know that there's certain things that I bring to the table that are kind of across the board. Women tend to be receptive of that, you know. But I'm not. So the thing is, you try to lean into your strengths and play away from your weaknesses. But we all have them, and ain't nothing you can do to make all your weaknesses go away. But again, it's just that idea that. And here's the other thing, man. Water seeks its own level. Like, if you're asking why do people that you don't think are your caliber keep approaching you like they got a shot with you, you should really ask yourself:
are you really the caliber you think you are?
Are you really the caliber that you think you are? Yeah, that's the point.
Moving on. This is a male, 40. About me, I'm always trying to better myself. Recently quit smoking. Week 1 smoke-free in the books. I enjoy experiences, going to stand-up venues, sporting events, arcades, and nature. I'm a foodie and love new places to eat. I stay up with current events because I do day trade stocks. No, I won't try to get you to invest because that's a red flag for me. I have nothing to hide. I'm 5'10" since that matters to most, and something I can't change. My workout is at home based. I liked that profile.
That's pretty. Yeah, I ain't got a whole lot wrong with that.
I liked it. Yeah, I think most of it was positive.
Other than you want to pat on the back for a week of non-smoking, but like that's just...
No, he's just letting people know he's committed. Like, I appreciate that because you're in that same boat that you recently have.
It's a week.
Babe, I get it, but he's still letting you know, like, he's done. And again, if you know this, it may be something that if I'm a smoker or you could be tempted, I'm not going to take you to places where you're surrounded by a bunch of smokes,
I get it, small gains are wins, but me, I'm a person, like, I never got excited being up to nothing. There's still like 39 minutes and 30 seconds of, of the game left. There's a lot of time left.
Okay, honey.
That's all. I'm just like, because again, plus how's that going to age? You're perennially putting yourself at a week.
So you would have left that out. I'm always trying to better myself. Recently quit smoking. Wish me luck or something like that.
I wouldn't even put it in there. Like, if you stop smoking, why would you even put that in there? Like, just leave it out. And then that's something you can disclose if you wish when you start to get to know someone. But if you're saying, like, if you're on the opposite side of that,
just leave it out. Because again, when you're talking to the woman, potential woman, then that might come up in
what's
conversation.
More of a red flag, divorced or recently divorced?
Recently divorced.
So why would you put that in there?
That is true.
And eventually you're not going to be recently divorced, so why does that need to be in there?
Yeah, the word recently. Divorce can.
Attached to it.
Yeah, like, ooh, they might not be ready. Okay. Moving on. This is also a male. He is 41. Looking for someone who would enjoy being in a relationship with me, but also turned on by my kinks of watching her play with other men. I enjoy watching and filming, in brackets, if that's something you enjoy. I have also been a bull to several couples in the past. If you're classy, educated, and STD free, hit me up. I don't know what a bull is.
Like a stud, I guess the same type of...
So he goes in and has relations with the person's wife? Oh, or girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, I guess everybody's got their kinks and stuff. I don't know if that's the right platform to be necessarily trying to nail them down on there. And it sounds a little conflicted because, like you said, so you're a cuck cannibal. I think you're one. That's like I'm a top bottom.
Because yes, you caught that because you
You're
said
you want
to watch her play.
Yeah, you want to watch her be with other dudes.
But then
you are the other dude that other men's women is playing with. Like it's one or the other.
You're so right. You're so smart. You caught that. That is so right. Because then you're either top or a bottom. You don't get to. It's weird when you're both.
Which ones did he sound more excited about?
I've also been a bull to several couples in the past. Because he mentions, like, you should have left it alone.
Yeah. It's an afterthought.
Yeah, he should have left it alone.
And you probably were not asked back in that role. But you definitely like filming and you be all into it when you seeing your girl being with some other dude, and I'm just, to each their own. Doesn't really do anything for me. He sounded
very excited about that
part.
Yeah,
he sounded very excited about the first part of it.
Also be turned on by my kinks of watching her play with other men. I enjoy watching, and he says watching again, as opposed to, I've been a bull, blah, 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 blah.
No, I mean, but bull ain't got nothing to do with watching.
Thank you.
That's a cuckold.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of what it seems like that's your role.
Well, okay.
To each their own.
Yeah, God bless him. Okay, this one is a male, 51. Just a youthful, athletic, playful, and grown-ass man with his together. Out there looking for someone fun to vibe with, me, and then see where it goes from there. Proving every day there's life after divorce. Where's my boo at? That divorce hurt him, boy.
Yeah, he is.
He does not want to be divorced.
And he does not want to be in anything else. Like, you sound like these confused women. Like,
he wants his wife back.
I just want to play, but see where this goes. And that was confusing. He
doesn't want to be divorced. That screams to me as a woman, he does not want to be divorced, right? Yeah. From that wife. And again,
or he just don't. Maybe you got put in that part right. You just don't want to be on the street.
He's like, I didn't get married to get divorced, right? She clearly filed. For me, I'm like telling you a story. Like, she clearly filed for divorce. You wanted to continue being married.
Man stuff together. It's like, again, that's kind of like that.
At 51, I would hope so.
It's kind of like
why are you telling me that at 51? At 50, if this was a 25-year-old man's profile and he said, I'm a grown-ass man, it's because he wants people to see him as that. But you're 51,
But let's be real, too. There is no matriculation in the dating pool anymore. Like, 50-year-olds
explain
have
what matriculation means.
You cannot assume because a person has more age, i.e. experience, that they actually extrapolated any wisdom out of it.
That is correct.
Like, you have 50-year-olds with the same damn problems as 23-year-olds.
And Kendra G and Kevin Samuel's show showed us that every single week. You got 50-something-year-old women going up there saying the same things the 22-year-old women were saying. And again, you got men up there, 20-something, talking about doing the same thing the 55-year-old men are doing.
I just want someone to love me for me.
Hey.
It's not really going to happen. Like, because love is only going to get you so far.
Facts, love is not enough. That is one of the chapters of my book.
It shouldn't hurt anybody's feelings. Love just isn't enough.
It ain't.
You need work.
Facts. This is a male, 43, about me. Compassionate and family-oriented single dad. Lover of all things nature, DIY projects, and road trips. I'm a multifaceted man that can fix a car, give a lecture at a university, and has mad skills soothing babies to sleep. It's all in the belts. Winky face. I've spent the past few years focused on family and my career in public health. I'm well established now and my kiddos are getting older, so I've got a bit more time on my hands and I'm hoping to find someone kind and fun to enjoy it with.
It's not that bad. Yeah, he's been through some stuff, obviously, and yeah, he just wants to be treated nice, which is bad because I honestly think most men, that's probably at the top of their list. Is just
I just want to be treated nice.
To treat me, just to be, be okay with me, because this situation has gotten so crazy out here where, females will still try to get stuff out of you and they don't even like you, and that's just kind of messed up. Like, if you don't like him, just say you don't like him and throw him back.
Not if you can get a free meal.
Right, but that's but again, when dudes do it, like, again, I don't really like you, but I'm gonna keep clapping them cheeks.
It's
that is considered so terrible.
But me going to
you don't
Chris
really like
every
him,
Friday,
but going out with him every week to get a nice meal out of it or go to a new place
is acceptable.
Totally acceptable. He should somehow discern that you don't like him like that. I think it's fair to say the same way. You should discern that he's just fucking you.
There's that. So when it came to this, I like it and don't like it at the same time. I don't know. I think that he's going to get some women who are okay with the fact that he's a single dad, and he's going to get some that aren't. I think he says single dad and then he says kiddos. So how many kids are there? Because a woman who's signing up for potential, like how many kids I'm going to deal with, they're getting older. But that's just me. That's how I'm reading it, and there probably are other women like me who are reading it the same way. So I think I love that I'm a multifaceted man. I thought that was funny. I thought the soothing babies all in the balance. I like a witty person, but I think that, and I get it. You lead with, a lot of people say you should lead with the fact, like you never ever deny clearly your kids, but I don't know if you need to put it in your profile. I think it's one of the questions you ask. Do you have kids?
Well, I think that's where I tend to I think it's just an introduction. That's all your profile needs to be, is an introduction. Would you like to get to know
me better?
I don't got time, nor do I have any desire to try to make the whole world know me. I like that a lot of y'all don't know me. Like, thank God.
I'm done. Moving on. This is also a male, 45, about me. Looking to have fun, meet new people, and see how things go. Love nice dinners and a night out on the town. Also love the outdoors, glamping, and exploring Arizona in my RZR. Good job financially secure. God, my God, the spelling mistakes and the lack of periods. Punctuation is necessary, people. Anyways, good job financially secure with my own house and car. Love animals. Animals should be plural, not with an apostrophe. I'm sorry. Anyways, love animals and have done some volunteer work for a shelter. Also love to travel and enjoy my free time. Not much of a homebody, prefer to be out enjoying nature or doing something fun. This screams I don't meet anybody. If you love your free time, why are you looking? Because being in a relationship automatically takes away your free time.
It does, and it's a little, I kind of expect it from guys to be like, oh, just see where this thing goes. That's kind of like, I don't want to put nothing on it, and I just kind of want to keep it casual. Like, if you want a casual dude, just say that's what you want. But on both sides of it, that's kind of bothersome to me when I hear people constantly say they just want to see where things go. Because to me, that's like, I'm going to hop in this hot air balloon and see where it goes. Like, and think you're going to end up somewhere good. You're going to end up in the middle of fucking nowhere is where you're going to end up at.
You should have a direction.
You should have a direction. You should have a purpose. You should have intention. And that's how you weed people out.
That's what I loved about you, babe, is you were, as we were getting to know each other, you were very intentional. Kind of way. You were very intentional.
I'm going to be single. Or I'm like, if I'm gonna have someone in my life, it's gonna be in a certain capacity. It is not just gonna be. We'll see where it goes. Nowhere. It's not gonna go anywhere because you're not working to get it somewhere.
Yeah, you were very intentional. He was very direct. He was like, "This is how things are going to be."
I gained wisdom from my experience. I learned certain things, like, that's how it's going to go.
And this is why I chose dating profiles of people over 40, because you're supposed to know
it should be
better.
Very different, and I think that's why I started. So if the criticism seems a little harsh, it's because we're all in our 40s now. If you don't know yourself at 40, what are you doing?
Thank you. Like a dating profile of a 45-year-old man
should
that's
not
wishy-washy.
Read like a 26-year-old who's wishy-washy. You got a right to be 26 and wishy-washy. 40-something, you ain't got a whole lot more time to figure it out.
There's not a lot of time left on this earth, let me tell you. So figure it out. Moving on. This person is male, 48, about me. Dipping toes back into dating pool. Society seems to promote the merits of doing it alone and of being dependent solely on self. I have found that I don't enjoy doing things, exploring, traveling, cooking, etc. alone. I much prefer companionship. I think we were made to be social beings and to enjoy each other's company. I'm not putting a label on what I'm searching for, not looking for marriage, and not into one-time booty calls. Companionship is my primary goal. I love to meet for coffee. And he has a smiley face.
He's moving. But he's going to get better results just because, again, he will scare off certain women.
I agree.
Because, again, those that don't want to play or don't know what they want or can't articulate it or can't recognize it when it's in front of them, you're going to scare some of that off. But your chances of finding someone who is going to be responsive to you are a bit better when you're really kind of like put a line in the sand. You know what I mean? Like,
here was the thing.
This is what I'm looking for.
He was positive in saying, "I don't want no independent woman." That's what he's saying by his profile. If you come in on here on some independent, I don't need no match, I'm not the one for you.
And I'm not trying to be independent either. I think that's a part of that.
He's clearly been divorced. Like, this is a man who's either in a long-term relationship or divorced. He does not like being divorced. He wants relationship. You've said it to me. You're like, I'm better in a relationship. And he's best in this relationship. And therefore, Rob's not trying to be back out on the market because he needs supervision. This is what this man is saying. I don't want to do this stuff alone. I could, but why? And if you're coming in on some independent crap, please leave me alone. I'm not saying that I don't want to clap them cheeks right away, but I'm not necessarily saying that I'm looking to jump into something. It's saying seeing where things go without saying seeing where things go, but he's very clear about the type of woman he wants. I really like this profile.
Oh, it's like
it's a grown ass man.
I want to see things go somewhere until I don't. That's
Thank you.
I think kind of what it says. I think that's kind of my mentality. It's like, I'm moving to see this where it goes until we get to a point where I'm like, I don't see it moving along any further. And hopefully you don't get to that point. But if you do, ain't nothing wrong with putting the ball down.
Yeah.
Bye.
But I liked it. I am a fan of that profile.
And you know what? That's why I say, like, you can really get to know a person in a few hours, man. If you are intentional and ask the right questions, and like if you phrase a question a certain way, it's almost impossible to lie to the answer to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
It's like, but get your focus and your perspective together. That would kind of be my advice.
Okay, next one. Male, 40, looking to share a life with the right person, college educated, federal job, public officer, homeowner, veteran, no kids, must love doggos. They come first. And no, I'm not hooking up.
Your dogs come first?
Idiot. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
You sound like
a 40-year-old man who are telling me you're going to choose the dog over the woman. The woman says I don't like dogs.
And I'm sure these are not like German Shepherds or Rottweilers and nothing like that. These dudes got lap dogs. Talking about they come first.
Oh yeah, we're done.
Fifi and TT, like.
Why did that name the man's dog?
Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, no. A man who tells me his dogs come first, because I'm not a dog person. And Rob has said, if he had some dogs and I said I don't like dogs,
I was a dog person, but y'all are such crappy dog owners. I can't even enjoy dogs no more.
And you did tell me if I had said that I didn't like dogs, the dogs would have been gone. You did tell me that. Yeah, I'm not going to be like... I'm afraid of dogs. I don't like living because I'm Jamaican. Like, I don't believe living in houses. Dogs for outside. I don't believe.
We're in an apartment. What the hell are you?
Like, just a bunch of dogs.
Our apartment complex has so many damn dogs, and I don't understand it.
It's crazy. And we live on 2 floors. Like, our unit has actually 2 floors.
But I don't understand. And I don't think dogs enjoy it either.
Facts. So yeah, by 40-year-old man whose dogs come first. Male, 51. About me. Hi there, here's me in a list. Athletic and young at heart. Active lifestyle. Work out daily. Eat healthy. Web developer. Go Steelers. Go Pirates. Go Canadiens. Go ASU. 6'4", 225 pounds. Computer science and accounting degrees. CPA. Driven, kind, considerate. Divorced with no kids. Great career and job. Love festival. Love concerts. Trance music. I look like my pictures. Want to know more? Swipe right.
How? What more is there to know? That's a whole damn list right there. That's like like again, y'all start like that sounds like you looking at the females' profiles and trying to copy them. I'm gonna just put my list on here and it should be like 3 things, man.
Like sports.
Feminine, attractive, positive. Something like that, Like sports, energetic, zest for life. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, bro. I tuned, my ADD kicked in like halfway through that damn list. I was like, this dude.
I'm sorry, 51. Yeah, that was a lot.
Hey, you're 50.
51. Yeah, it was a lot.
Consider it. Divorce with no kids. Love festivals.
Robert!
It's like you're just trying to throw a net and catch everything you can catch in that shit.
I'm done. We're going to move on past this one. Okay. So, also a male, 50. Strictly NSA for the moment. That's no strings attached, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to meeting new friends and maybe some good connections. Maybe a spark of fire here and there. No rush for me. Oh my God. He gives his Snapchat? Sober for decades now. You are free to drink or party. Just don't expect me to. I love flirting and talking about fantasies. Let me tell you something. Any 50-year-old man who's got his Snapchat in his profile would not be for me personally. I think that leave those to the kiddies.
You sound,
I'm sorry.
To each their own.
Not for me. Not a 50.
But like that just strictly NSA. Dude, you are 50. Like, come on, man.
My dog and dildo. This is
almost like, but like, let's be real. Like, at this stage in life, fellas, if you hadn't hit your number, just face the fact that you're not and settle down. Either way. You know what I'm saying? But, like, just trying to notch your belt or, like, yeah, I just think that's really kind of bugged out when a man past 40 has not seen the value in relationship, but you're still pursuing them.
But no,
because again, the guys that don't see the value in relationships
do not
have checked out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
But this NSA stuff is like, no. At 50, NSA is called paying a professional.
We're gonna move on. Okay.
Go to Vegas.
This is a female, 42. She's a nurse. She's bisexual and pansexual. Okay.
I don't understand.
I don't understand what pansexual is, but moving on. About me. Enjoying life, traveling with my dog, and exploring new places. Looking to meet like-minded people, to explore the city and go on adventures. No expectations.
Can't do it because I don't travel with my dog.
Yeah,
what does that even, what does that mean?
So your
so
dog
you and Fifi going to Paris?
I guess they're in the little doggy thing in the compartment in the plane.
So you think you're not traveling alone with your dog?
Yeah, I'm not traveling with somebody who travels with their dog.
Animals are not humans.
They're not substitute children.
Substitute.
They're not substitute
Fur
children.
babies are not real babies. They might be to you, but to those that actually understand the place of canines,
that's weird.
No, it's not.
No.
Like, and again, like, we talk about it all the time. Like, like how you gonna lead a relationship with a woman, or how you gonna be in a relationship with a man when you can't even get your dog to act right? I'm just saying, a lot of y'all, like, we've seen it so many times. Like,
thank you.
Like, dude, when we was in front of PetSmart, we was out walking, dude. I don't know why you're acting like this all the time, Gigi. It's like, yo, bro, you can't even control your dog. Like, your dog don't even respect your leadership. Like, why in the world would a woman ever follow you?
Facts. And women who men come in their house and the dogs are all yipping and jumping on the couch and
I've only got one or two times before I'm hello from Fifi. Like, if your mama ain't gonna tell you. And again, I told you about that. I've been in a situation where I was dealing with a female before, and even though it was casual, I had to dead that because, like, man, one time I was over there and damn, She had like 4 dogs in the house. Big ass German Shepherd jumped up on the couch, and up on the bed, and I'm just like,
yeah, no.
All the spaces are for whoever. Like pets have that. They're pets. They have a place in my opinion.
and the place is not in a bed.
No.
The place is supposed to be outside. So yeah, she's a no. She ain't getting a man or a woman. Sorry, lady. Okay, we only have 2 more. No, we have 2 more.
Because this show went fast too.
Yeah, we have 2 more. And then we'll talk about a couple of things. So this is a male, 42. About me. Hi, I'm 42 years old and I'm 5'7". Can be 6'4" with 4-inch platforms. Laughing face. But anyways, these things ain't real. I don't believe in meeting real people here, but if you are real and looking for a straight up guy, I'm a pretty shy guy until you get to know me. I like 4-wheel driving, bowling, playing some pool, having fun, especially. Oh my Lord. I work and I have a 15-year-old daughter, 50-50, and a dog 50-50. At least looking for new friends, so swipe right and let's see what happens. Sarah.
Wait, people share custody of dogs?
I guess so. He must have won it in the divorce.
I don't know. He sounds blonde to me, though. Like, that was the first, 5 or 6 lines felt like one just long run on set.
It was. This is why he sounds like he's got short man syndrome. Like the fact that he mentioned the fact that he's 5'7" array, but he could be 6 feet with 4-inch platforms, and actually you would need 5-inch platforms.
Mathematically, that doesn't make sense.
You would need 5'11". You would need 5-inch platforms to be 6 foot, but we digress. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He needs to meet people in real life.
Yeah, it sounded kind of sweet to me.
Babe. But he needs to meet, he says he's shy, but then he says he doesn't believe in this because it's not real. But if you're real, reach out to him. But he's shy, so if he's shy, that means, yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry. He needs to like maybe you said, maybe he needs to hire a professional.
Like, if you feel like people have to prove stuff to you, you shouldn't be dating. Real talk though, like ain't nobody coming showing up to prove, that's not prove that I'm who I am, but it's it just seems like that's kind of like a manipulation to try to get a person to go above and beyond way too early,
Great. So last one, and then we'll talk a little bit. We do not have our question bowl this week, so we're just going to be having a quick 10-minute conversation after this. Yeah, we done finish up the questions, and I didn't refill it because I knew this would be a long show. Next week, thanks. So last one, male, 51, business owner. About me, I work hard and I play harder. I'm self-motivated, outgrowing. What? I'm gonna start over. I work hard and I play harder. I'm self-motivated, outgrowing, and when it gets tough, nothing can stop me. I love being in the outdoors. I'm the guy that you want to be with because I know that trust is the key to all relationships. I'm looking for my life partner. I hope it's you. Let's roll and have some fun doing it. He should be looking for a tutor. Because that was very difficult.
Hard to make through. And yeah, considering that these are all 40 and up people, I just wish these profiles were a bit more substantive or direct, clear. You know what I mean?
Because here's the thing. They are like that because that's how the people are like.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's the situation. If you're going to be at a space, and I deliberately chose people who were 40 and up. Mm-hmm. Deliberately. When I saw that they were a little bit younger, I would just change it and I would just delete them. I'm not talking about that. Because there's a certain expectation that you expect, especially because we're both in our 40s, right? And you would think that there's a certain level of expectation, you're going to carry yourself a certain way. And the reality is, whether we like it or not, people judge you. People judge you from that moment. Your picture, what you say, whatever the case might be. So if you're going to put yourself out there, don't you, to me, it's always, don't you want to make the best impression?
You think?
Because there is only maybe 1 or 2, and I read 20.
Yeah, and if you're not, trying to make your best impression. You're not trying to attract the best person that you can, I guess. And yeah, it's just like I said. I wish things were more direct. But that's the nature of the world. Like, it's a ton of people just out here just. Everyone says I'm not gonna settle until they settle.
But you know what was so funny? It was funny because I was watching two of my favorite people today, and I'm so excited because if you watch the show Ready to Love, which I do, I love it. There's a couple called Simone and Rashid. Anyways, Simone and I are now best friends.
Yeah.
On the internet because she now follows the show. So shout out to attorney Simone. Red Wine Ages and Stages podcast. Like, she's been my best friend in my head. Want to get to Houston and meet her, but I digress. Anyways, what's so funny is it's this idea to me where people are out there trying to talk about they really don't want to be in something when they really do want to be in something, right? Be deliberate. How are you on these dating profiles? Some people come on these dating shows and they act like, no, I don't want to be there.
People.
But we're grown-ass people.
Why are you there?
How are we grown-ass people acting as if, like, and I get it. Vulnerability is tough. We have had to be so vulnerable with each other. We have had to ensure or really work hard at making sure that our past relationships don't seep into this one. And then when we see them coming, we're like swatting it away because it has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now.
Right.
And that's hard work. It's a ton of hard work. And people who come in and tell you that relationships are supposed to be rosy and wonderful. So all of this, I get being carefree and light and whatever, but relationships are actually serious things. They're two people coming together, trying to make a life together, and he's got to deal with my craziness, and I got to deal with him. And then whatever comes with me, and I come with a lot of crazy. I'm Jamaican. He already knew what he signed up for, and there was no backseas, right? Like, my friends already told him, it's an ironclad contract. This is it. He doesn't get to give me back. And so when you are, and some days I think he wants to, but he cannot. No, it's sad. I love you so much.
No, sometimes you act like you want to get sent back or something like that. Or
I really don't want to be out in these streets.
And I really don't think either one of us do, but that's why you have to
I gotta get up and get something.
Compose yourself when you start tripping.
I do.
Like, not just you, not me also. Like, sometimes I know I'm like, yo, bro, you're being too inflexible. Like, you need to give a little bit. And, you know, that's what I mean. Like, it takes work. Like I said, there's no relationship goals. There's no couple goals. There's none of this. You have to be committed to the commitment. You have to work to stay together. And you have to want to be there even when you don't.
Because some days we don't like each other.
Hell no. Some days you don't want to be there.
Like each other.
Some days I hate it here, and I'm not saying like that.
I know,
you know what I'm saying, and I know you
some
feel
days
the
I
same
hate it here too.
You know, money back.
And it's not hating each other.
It's
so be
two
clear.
songs back to back. Love it here, hate it here. A lot of times those are the same relationships. It can be high, it can be low, but you accept what come with it.
And one of the good things that I appreciate about you is that he's learned how to communicate with me. And if he's having a hard time communicating, he knows who to go to help to better communicate with you.
Yeah, to kind of work
effort.
through my stuff with it. Because, I know like certain, especially because one, again, we've already addressed it. Women tend not to take criticism as well as men. We have to deal with some gut punches dealing with y'all sometimes because you're not always concerned about the delivery. You're concerned about getting the message across. As a man, you have to be worried about getting the message across and the delivery, because if the delivery ain't on point, the message is not going to be received or heard. So sometimes, and I appreciate that you will give me that space of when I'm like, it's something I need to get off my chest, but until I'm able to find a way to articulate, it's not for you. Mm-hmm. Because if I try to bring it to you now, you are going to run off screaming and in tears and like, oh my God, he hates me. No. It's not any of that. Or my spirit isn't even in a place to be able to deliver that message with love and kindness. Like, that's a key to it. Criticism has to be delivered in love and kindness. I learned that from one of my uncles. Same way as discipline has to be in the absence of anger. He never disciplined his boys when the incident happened. It would always be the next day. And that would also amplify it a bit more because they know it's coming. Mm-hmm. They know what they did. Mm-hmm. They know it's coming. They have to
sit with it and sleep with it.
So now, by the time the discipline is actually coming, they are remorseful as shit already. Anyways, we said they had to sit in it for a day of, man, the punishment is coming down the line. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
I know when Pop get home, he gonna wear my ass out, but it's not going to be a wear out where you're angry because that's how discipline can turn into abuse.
You do a really good job at that. I will give you that.
You have to have your composure to deliver discipline. And I also would say discipline in the absence of training is just cruelty. You're going to tell someone all the things they do wrong and you're not ever going to show them the proper way to do it? That's cruel.
So that's parts of relationship, though. It's understanding how to communicate with that person, how to love that person in a way that they receive, all of that stuff.
And it works for you.
And that works for you, right? And I think, so this is why for me, like, these dating profiles can be funny, ha ha ha, but it's a sad reality about what we talked about. There is a lot of piss in the dating pool, and most people don't recognize that they're the piss.
We all suck at relationships. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, this modern world does not... Look, our great-great-grandparents, when they got into a problem, your dad's friends was telling them to go back home. Your mama, your grandmama friends was telling her to take her ass back home. There was communities and support systems around them to try to keep them together. Yeah. Now, those same forces are there to break you apart. You know? All her girls, and actually you have great friends, so that's not really, and as do I. Like, I don't gotta, I don't surround myself around a bunch of people who just.
And that was important when we got into a relationship. And Rob, when you said that, I didn't even realize, and it's funny because that is something that
that's something I learned. Like,
well, so here's the thing. Rob told me that one of the things that was a check mark, was the fact that I had long-term friendships. So I have 20 plus years friendship. One of the first friends he met, we were on a trip to New York, was my best friend from Jamaica when I was 5. I'm 43 now. I was 40 at the time. I didn't even turn 41 yet. I hadn't turned 41 yet. And so he had met someone that I had known for 35 years from Jamaica. And for him, he was like, the fact that I had these friends, and even when I was leaving, my friends all got on a Skype call to talk to him. He talked to my brother. Like, he met my sister, right? He had talked to my daughter. Like, I had all of these groups of support of people. And he was like, that was really important for him because he knew that was important for the next wife he had. That was going to be important, that she could maintain actual relationships with people. And I think that's something that people don't realize about that, because part of growing up is learning interpersonal skills. That the whole independent thing has robbed us of. We don't know interpersonal skills. We don't know how to interact with people. And he was like, how are you going to be in a long-term relationship with me if you can't even be in a long-term relationship with females?
Facts. And we live in a society now where socialization is not a guarantee. Especially after the pandemic, and you got homeschool, and you got, like, there's people that would rather interact electronically than personally. I remember the world before the internet and before smartphones and stuff like that. I prefer to actually get to know people in person.
Yeah.
But then, nowadays it's just a hot mess, So again, if you are into something, I would suggest you really sit back and evaluate it and think about, do you really think it's going to be better somewhere else? Especially if you ain't going to do nothing different.
Well, and based on these dating profiles,
a lot of people just move on to the next thing, and I ain't going to do nothing different. But and John Wooden,
Who's that?
Basketball coach.
Okay.
He was saying that, like, you can't do, to do something and it's not working repeatedly, that's insane.
Well, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's literally the definition of insanity.
That is the definition of insanity, and you probably throw delusion in there too.
And a lot of people are operating that space. And again, so yeah, listen, I think that there's some good quality people out there on the market. I think you got to consider, are you one of those good quality people? And based on some of these dating profiles, I think people think that they are, but the way that they're presenting themselves, it screams very, very differently. You should be able to answer the question, what do you bring to someone's life that they can't get somewhere else? Because we all do. I want to believe that. I think I brought something to your life that nobody else brought to your life. Yes, I brought a lot of things that other people have brought, but I've also brought some uniqueness to his life, and he's brought some to mine. And like we just said, we're committed to the commitment.
I think that's probably the most important thing. Again, people are committed to their jobs. People are committed to their people show commitment in every other aspect of life usually. You know what I'm saying? You have people that's be on terrible jobs for 20 years and stuff like that.
But they'll be out of relationships.
They'll be out of relationships and this stuff don't go the way they want it to. Be like, but damn, you've been at fucking Jack in the Box for 15 years?
Or that Burger King guy for 27 years and they give him $27.
Motivation for that.
Yeah, kids and stuff. But but it's the same thing. Like, you were so right. People will commit to so many other aspects but don't commit to the relationship. So you got to figure out, people, what do you want out there? Like, again, there's only piss in the dating pool because we've allowed there to be, right? We've allowed people to be shitty. People have allowed other people to be shitty. It's just that simple. Delusional, all of the other things.
Illusions of grandeur.
It takes you about 30 minutes of watching Kendra G's show, and you don't even have to watch all of the shows on all of the platforms, because she got Instagram, she got Facebook, she got YouTube. Honestly, take a moment, follow Kendra G. Within 30 minutes, you will see how delusional people are and how encouraged delusion is, especially among women.
Yeah, like women are quick to call with eight kids.
Talking about she wants a new man.
Talking about you want a new man.
And that her kids shouldn't stop a man from dating her. Yes, he just said it. A 28-year-old woman with 8 kids. She had a 1-year-old, a set of 3-year-old twins that were about to turn 5, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 10-year-old. These are all the kids that she had. And she's coming, again, just had a 1-year-old, and is coming on saying she's ready to date and a man should not see her kids. All 8 of them under the age of 10 as a reason not to date her at 28. This is the world we live in.
That's crazy to me.
So people, here's the thing. Relationships are great. They can be great. Are you good in a relationship? And if you're not good in a relationship, get better. You should invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. And honestly, if you don't want to be dating, don't get on a dating profile and tell people you don't want to be dating. Who cares? They don't care about you.
That's cap.
That's
you
stupid.
Went through the whole process to say you don't want to be here. Who stands in line at Disney World to get in and say, I don't want to be here?
Move on. Stop capping. It's okay. People need people. That's the world.
That's the thing that most people don't want to be honest about. The world is trying to push it. I don't need nobody.
People need people.
Somehow there's going to be 8 billion independent fucking people in this world.
I'm not trying to sleep alone.
When humans by design are interdependent with each other.
Facts.
That's why humans are one of the few species in nature that cannot give birth unassisted. Women need help delivering their own child. You ever seen a deer give birth? They just be walking and a little deer fall out. Like, that's
I've never seen that. That's fascinating.
That not a whole lot, but no, because we need those connections. We are a village, and we sit there and act like we're nomads all the time.
Facts. So, thank you for watching this show.
Appreciate it.
Before we go, we of course have to thank our sponsor, which is Sorrel and Sage. Make sure you visit them on Instagram at Sorrel and Sage CA, or on their website at shopsorrelandsage.com. I am telling you, some of the best products I have ever used, and Rob loves them, and Rob doesn't like a lot of things, but he's been telling me he needs his package and his different oils.
I love my sorrel
and
sage.
He does love his sorrel and sage, and he will not let me buy any other product. So check them out, sorrel and sage. We love her. She is just supported us through this. Any words for you on your phone checking? Were you checking the scores?
No. No, just thanks for joining us. Again, we'll be back next Thursday, 9:30 Eastern, as always. Continuing to try to get better at this. We're going to be tweaking, changing, evolving, growing, always. And
yeah, we're gonna be in our next season, which is coming up, season 4. We're gonna give you more insight into us, right? Like what do we look like? What is our craft? Ask us any questions. You know, we're an open book. I am writing a book once again.
Definitely seeking more engagement.
Yeah, we are. I'm writing a book called "Fuck Your Feelings: The Journey to Imperfect Love," and it's gonna give you some stuff. I just did the outline today, and it's gonna really dig deep into it. So again, we're 2 different people from 2 different cultures and 2 different countries and 2 different things. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to deal with to stay together, but we're committed to the commitment. And that's an important lesson. So as we like to say, bring a little fuck your feelings into your life and your relationship, because it may just make you stay together. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to Fuck Your Feelings, the show on YouTube. We appreciate all the love, and I gotta go feed him. I made dinner. He's getting hungry. Love you all. We out. Bye-bye. Instagram and goodbye. YouTube.
Hit the like and subscribe.